Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are talking about Hedera hash graph HBAR and the fantastic breakout that it has had recently. There's obviously some fantastic news that goes along with this breakout, isn't there, Chris? And we're going to get into a bit of that.
Yeah, there is. We've been talking about this project, for quite a while, certainly been invested in it for a long time. And it's taken some traction a little bit quicker than we both anticipated, isn't it, Nick?
Absolutely. Hands up, I thought this thing would be a little bit of a slow burner, but it's doing some fantastic things. So as always, guys, if you find this video useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really does appreciate it, and so do I. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, Chris, shall we jump over and take a look at this fantastic news? And then once we've gone through that, take a look at the chart, see this breakout and see what that might mean in terms of potential retracements for accumulation, and ultimately what are the next price targets that we should be aiming for?
Yeah, let's do it, Nick. Love this project. Let's get straight into it.
Fantastic. Let's jump on over to the desktop. Right, so it's close to home, this one, Chris. A UK hospital network, otherwise known as the NHS, basically has become one of the first worldwide to use a digital ledger technology similar to the ones that we know and love in the crypto sphere. So they're basically using this DLT to handle and to track the handling of, yes, I should say, the COVID-19 vaccines. So South Warwickshire NHS Foundation Trust, which is part of the government-run National Health Service and administers for hospitals in central England, right, has become or begun using the Hedera hashgraph system to keep track of whether COVID-19 vaccines are being stored at the correct temperatures. Hedera and Everywhere, a UK software company that is overseeing the project, said on Tuesday. The hospitals included in one Stratford-upon-Avon, the city best known for being Shakespeare's birthplace. We all know that one too well, don't we, Chris? So in recent weeks, a number of tech companies, including IBM, have proposed using blockchain technology, which is a kind of digital ledger. I guess this is explaining it to people who don't know, but that is maintained across a network, right, rather than stored in one centralized location, as a way of basically ensuring data on coronavirus vaccine doses is both secure and can be shared easily across organizations that normally use different record-keeping systems. So it's a really good, I guess, way of actually explaining what a potential DLT is doing in layman terms, right? Ultimately, it's decentralizing centralized data so that it can be used by multiple different organizations without having to, create middle databases and all that rubbish, right? You have one fantastic system that is blockchain enabled, right? Although Hedera hashgraph is not technically a blockchain, I guess it's more of it's a diagonal, it's a DAG chain. But anyway, we won't go into the semantics of it. But yeah, basically, South Warwickshire's use of Hedera is thought to be one of the first implementations of this kind of technology for tracking vaccine handling. And I guess maybe they need to check up on VeChain, because they're doing fantastic things from traceability, hospitality, vaccines and virus and all that kind of stuff. I don't think they're necessarily doing it for vaccine, but they're definitely doing it for other things.
They are doing it for vaccine, but they're doing it in Cyprus, I believe, and I think there's talks of also doing something in Greece, for VeChain. But it is really important to sort of be able to keep data and keep a check on the temperatures of the vaccination. I couldn't think what it's called then, but the vaccination side of things, because if it gets above a certain temperature, then it renders it useless. So it's playing a vital part, and it's great for the NHS in the UK and Hedera, let's be honest.
Yeah, it does fantastic things for Hedera, as we can see in the charts, which we'll get to very shortly. So I'm not going to go into all of this, it can get quite lengthy, but the gist of it is, that basically they're using Hedera hashgraph and this software company, Everywhere, to help kind of, make sure that the temperatures of these vaccines are stored correctly and they don't exceed or go out of the range that is acceptable, right? So the producer in question here is Pfizer and all those other ones. I'm not going to get into it in detail, but you get the idea, right? So it's doing pretty good work in terms of blockchain technology. So if you do want to check this out, guys, I'll try to link it into the description, but sometimes I do forget. And if I do forget, it's 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘.com and you'll be able to find it there. So Chris, shall we jump into the price stuff, the stuff that really we all care about?
Yeah, I mean, it's been breaking out, hasn't it? So yeah, let's get into it. It looks exciting, Nick.
It really does, right? So a big solid green candle for today. So big was this green candle, Chris, I had to actually redraw the Fibonacci retracement. This is not something I've had to do on many projects yet. Basically, that one candle wiped out most of the price targets that we had beforehand, which was fantastic. I've also included, guys, some Bollinger Bands on here as well, so you can just see the scope of this thing and how it kind of played out in the last few days. So we're on the daily chart here. We obviously have a new Fibonacci, we have the Bollinger Bands, we have the MACD, and we also have the RSI. Okay, so each of these things are telling us something differently that hopefully allows us to get a good feel of what's actually happening here in this space, right? So we have, to start with, let's start at the bottom here. We have a RSI over 70. Okay, that is indicating that actually this thing might be overbought. Okay, so this potentially has to come down, which is understandable considering the size of this particular candle that was printed today. The MACD, on the other hand, shows an incredibly positive situation where things are looking very good and not likely to come down anytime soon. So two countering perspectives there, right? And this is where then the Bollinger Bands also tell us something different as well. Ultimately on here, when we dig this a little bit deeper, we can see that actually it's a very bullish movement. We had this as a bit of resistance, right? Over here, but we've had this breakout as well. So really key to see how this works going forward. And of course, we have the Fibonacci retracement. We have that high level there. We've come down to this zone, right? And this zone represents that 78.6 Fibonacci level. That's an incredibly key level. And if we end up closing in this zone, do expect to potentially come down to either the 61.8 zone, okay, this level here, or my preferred zone, which would be that 50% retracement, the 7.5 cent area. And if absolutely it came at a push, we could see us coming down to that 38.2 Fibonacci level for a retracement of this zone before coming back out, right? So I think there's some time here to accumulate. And I think I would potentially be putting my buy orders somewhere in between 7.5 and 8 cents. I'm going to be somewhere in this particular zone here is going to be my kind of area that I will be paying attention to. But let's take a look at it a little bit deeper, right? Let's go ahead and throw this onto the 4-hourly chart. This shows us the price movements that they've been happening and this particular breakout. You can see this breakout here and why it achieved such fantastic highs as it completely broke apart from those Bollinger Bands. Okay, so then obviously we come back down and it's obviously now acting more as resistance up here, which is really good. But we're also miles away from our middle band and absolutely miles away from that low end as well. So things are looking pretty good from the 4-hour perspective here on the Bollinger Bands. Now, obviously with that, we haven't come down to the first area that I would be anticipating, which would have been that 61.8 Fibonacci, right? We haven't come as low as that yet, so I still expect that there's a lot of resistance in this area to come back down here and at least hit one of these areas, right? Personally, I still think the 50% is a nice attractive area for a retrace, okay? But that being said, you're going to be expecting either one of those three, right? You're going to have the 61, the 50%, or the 38. It's going to be one of those. I like to personally aim for the middle ground and we'll be okay. The MACD is also looking very good still on the 4-hourly chart. So that could still indicate that this thing has more momentum to go to the upside. The RSI still over that 70 level, even though we came down briefly, it's still moving up. So that's also, you know, a bit of a concern. We could have a correction here, although the MACD is not indicating that as such. So those moving averages are looking very good as well. So those convergences as well. So everything's looking really, really good from these perspectives. So Hedera hash graph, Chris, absolutely doing phenomenal things, way above my expectations this soon. To see something of this magnitude breaking out, it's fantastic to see on such a solid project like Hedera hash graph. Anything you want to add to this, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, we thought it was going to be a bit of time before it started to really gain momentum, but you know, it's gone beyond sort of what we imagined at this point, and we kind of invested into this project as, you know, a bit of a long-term sort of play. But yeah, fantastic, a great project. I mean, you know, you look at the governance team that they've got in place. You know, it's just immense, and yeah, I think that's big things for the future of Hedera Hashgraph for sure.
Absolutely. So guys, if you found this video useful, informative, and maybe just a dash entertaining, do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really does appreciate it, and so do I. And personally, I like to think that you all appreciate it too. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.